Welcome to Python Syntax with the Major PC Gamer. My name is Firehaven, and we are going to go through syntax. Inside of Python syntax, Python indentation within syntax is super important. And the indentation refers to the space at the beginning of a code line. Where in other programming language, the indentation in code is for readability only. The indentation in Python is very important. Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. So, to explain what that means is we can open this up, try it yourself, opens it up in a new tab for us. 5 is greater than 2. And we're using the if syntax, which is if 5 is greater than 2, we will print this statement because this is true. So, 5 is indeed greater than 2. So, we will print 5 is greater than 2, which is true. But a block of code is something that is on this space or this axis vertically is the start of the code. And everything that is indented inside of this code is indeed part of that block. So right here, this is, but this is not. And then in here would be a different block of code. So that is what indentation or a block of code is inside of Python. Python will give you an error if you skip indentation. So right here, this is not indented. So if you look, file, demo, test Python, line 2. So it's telling us line 2, there's an error. So we go, okay, well, if you use a normal editor, you'll have number lines. If you use Visual Code or, Jupyter Notebook or anything like that. So if we literally go in here, we go, boom, we're going to run our code by clicking tab. So it's indented. There is 5 is greater than 2. Awesome. That's exactly what we were looking for. The number of space is up to you as a programmer, but it has to be at least 1. So, like I said, most people will just put tab or they'll continue to tab in a couple times for a block of code. Don't really see it where you need to indent a whole bunch so you don't have wide code. You have vertically long code. So in this case, you can see if 5 is greater than 2, print 5 is greater than 2. And then again, this is a separate block of code because see, it starts over and then is now double indented. It still works over here on the right, which is awesome. And it might create ugly looking code, but your code still runs, so you're not sitting there looking for that one curly bracket or that one minor space of where is it, I need a backspace, because that doesn't work. And Python variables within syntax. And Python variables are created when using a value to assign it. Variables in Python. X equals 5, Y equals hello world. So, Python has no command for declaring a variable. You will learn more about variables in the Python variables chapter. So we will learn about this in a couple later, but it's kind of giving us a little head start or a little sneak peek in the next coming lesson. Python has a commenting capability for the purpose of line code documentation, which again, like I said, will be in the next lesson. I'm not really sure why they show that to you. I mean, more times than not, I'm assuming it's just for repetition. But this is a comment. Try yourself. So if we go over here and you look, this is indeed a comment because it has a pound sign, so it does not run it as code. But if you look, print hello world in quotations in brackets, it prints simply hello world. And like I said, here's these little exercises at the end. Now you just saw it, But if you're like running the code or whatever, you might not remember. But if you go here and we go print hello world, correct. Sweet. The exercise worked. And that is it for this episode of talking about indentation within Python 3.